It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll, and today we have a very special surprise. We're sitting down with Gina Marie, the spiritual medium, who we had the opportunity to witness her amazing ability and gift on the Real Housewives of New Jersey's latest season. This has been an amazing opportunity to sit down with Gina Marie, and I can't wait to share with you how she got started, when she found out that she had this amazing gift, and also what she might have coming up. So before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything in the future. Let's do this. So Gina Marie, you are a spiritual medium, and that's what we know about you from the show, The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and also Jersey Shore. I just wanted to ask you a question for any of the fans, your fans who are watching, fans of the show. Is there a difference, and do you have a preference between being referred to as a spiritual medium or how Teresa Giudice referred you to as a psychic?
So it's not that I have a preference. However, I am a medium, and that's how people originally knew me. And what happens is the difference between psychics and mediums is that not all psychics are mediums. Not all psychics are channeling the other side. Whereas mediums have psychic ability, so they can do both. And when psychic information gets downloaded into my sessions, it just happens. I'm not trying to make it happen. It's just me connecting with your spirit guides, your higher power. And then this information comes in, and I love to take notes when I'm channeling. I actually prefer it over recording the sessions, because I feel like you can go back to your notes and be like, oh my God, you know, she said something about May 15th and I didn't know what it meant. And now, you know, I met the love of my life, or I got the job I wanted, or I was able to let go of that abusive relationship, you know. So for me personally, I typically am referred to as a medium. And yet, yes, I guess I do have psychic ability.
Well, you know, I find this fascinating, especially your gift. I mean, I'm sure everyone does, because you truly can help people. I mean, you tell people things that they wouldn't even dream of knowing. It's just incredible what you do. Are you able to, you mentioned channeling, are you able to turn it on and off, or does it just come to you everywhere you go? And it's just, I mean, I don't even, it must be a feeling.
Right. It is a feeling. It will and can come to you wherever you go. I've learned how to turn it on and off because I work so much. So if I didn't turn it off, then I'd be exhausted and probably not be able to get out of bed on most days. When I was just practicing and I, you know, wasn't working full time, and this just kind of happened for me, and I realized I had this ability. It was on all the time. And I was getting drained like 6 months in, and I realized that I had to learn to turn it off. And so I do. When I'm not working, the switch is off.
Okay. Okay. And if I may ask, when did you realize that you had this gift, this ability?
So when I was younger, I was able to communicate with spirit, and I had a very strong psychic ability, I guess, but I didn't realize what it was. I just thought I was intuitive. I thought I was like my grandmother, who was very intuitive. She lived to 105, and she also had this gift. She was a matchmaker, and she just was very prophetic, if you will. And so I had the same experiences. She was also my godmother. And so we had a very special bond and relationship. And so it would come to me as a child, and then it escalated and it got stronger and stronger, where I really couldn't ignore it. And it actually scared me, because I would have dreams of spirit, and I would know when people were going to die, and it was scary. So I went and spoke to a spiritual healer who said, look, you're a medium, and this is a gift from God. don't be afraid of it, release the fear and embrace it and use it to help people. It's why God gave you this gift. And so I shifted into that way of thinking, and I started practicing intentionally to help people, to bring people peace, to let them know that we are all connected to our loved ones forever, and that heaven's just right here. And so that's when my journey began as a medium.
Wow. Okay. And, obviously we know you as a medium, but we don't know much else about you. I mean, is there anything else before we move on? And I have a few other questions about your filming experiences and whatnot, but is there anything else that we don't know about you that you would like people to know? I mean, do you have a family at home? I don't want to get too personal in your business, but do you have, like a family at home, a different job that you had before you started your business?
Yes, yes, and yes. And you're so adorable. You don't want to get too personal. It's okay. So I am the mother of 4 children. My oldest is a senior in college and he's 22. And then my daughter, Mia, is 20, and she's the one that helps me with all this tech stuff and all the behind the scenes. She's very intuitive also. She's just a whiz. And then I have a 17-year-old daughter, Ava, and then my youngest guy is 14. And we're very busy here. We are kind of also obsessed with each other. Like not in an unhealthy way. Like we really love being together. We spend a lot of time, my husband and I, who I've been with for 30 years.
Wow.
And yeah, we'll be married 24 years this year. We just love being together. So we'll drop our youngest off at wrestling and just go grab a bite locally, and we'll see all our friends. And I love my friends. I'm blessed with the most amazing friends, friends that I grew up with, friends that I met, throughout my single life, friends that I met through my married life, and then friends that I met through my children that are really like family for me. And I just adore them. And we spend a lot of quality time with them also. I attended Montclair State University. I have a degree and a BA in communications and a minor in sociology. And I am of Middle Eastern descent. I'm first generation born here. So I speak Arabic. I visit Israel every year. Well, not every year anymore. The last time I was there was 2 years ago to see my grandmother before she passed. Oh. And so it's like very interesting. I'm married to an Italian man who's 100% Italian. So we've kind of incorporated these two like huge families with a lot of traditions and a lot of love. And it's just been amazing. I've been very blessed, thank God.
Hey, I applaud that, because I have 11 brothers and sisters, and our family, we fight like cats and dogs. So every time we get around, my fiance always says this too. When I say, hey, so-and-so is coming to town, he's like, let's get out the boxing gloves. Like, what's going to happen this time?
That's hilarious. I love it. I love it.
Every time we always start off on a good path, and we can't do more than 3 days. They say fish and house guests stink after 3 days. So does family on this side sometimes. So, I think that's amazing, especially because you guys are able to keep that closeness, and, you guys you have the family values, and I love that. I kind of wish that a lot of other people and myself, I wish we could experience that too. So I really applaud that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I want to move on and ask you a little bit about your filming experiences. And was it hard for you the first time having cameras in your face? Because, I have a little bit of background being around production and, seeing the cameras around, and it can be overwhelming. You have a lot of people there. Does that affect you in what you do, or at least at the beginning did it?
I guess I've been pretty fortunate with that also, where I just kind of went in and did my thing. I blocked the cameras out and all the production crew, and I just did my thing. So it kind of happened naturally. So really, besides being hot and like it being really hot temperature wise, when you're filming and channeling for people, I guess because of all the lights and cameras, it's gone pretty smoothly, I'd have to say. And I've worked with amazing people. The casts that I've worked with have been very gracious and welcoming to me. And I find that when people want to connect and want a reading, that it really just goes so smoothly. I love working with people like that. So I've been pretty fortunate. And I've been able to just stay in my zone kind of and focused and do my thing, regardless of who and what's around me.
Nice. Okay. And has the aftermath of being on the show, obviously you were on Jersey Shore and you were on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Have you been on any other shows?
I've done YouTube's, the Jenny and Snooki show. I've done, we did the Burn Bray Mansion. We went and did paranormal investigations there. That was fun. I've done some other things, those were probably my two biggest projects to date. And I have some other stuff that I'm working on now. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. I've met with some television networks. They've, called me. I don't really go looking for these things. They've just come. I started off just wanting to help people and share this gift. And just by word of mouth is really how I grew, I guess, in this industry. And it kind of took a life of its own. And so, these people have come and found me and asked me to do these projects. And thank goodness they've went really well.
And I'm sure they've obviously helped business, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I probably came into, the Jersey Shore with maybe like a year wait list for one-on-one readings. And then, a year and a half or 2 years for my evening appointments and my group appointments. And now it's just skyrocketed since the Real Housewives of New Jersey. It's, been kind of just finding the balance of, because I'm trying to get everybody in and I really want to be able to connect with each and every person that wants a reading. So I've been working overtime to try and get everyone in and not have a crazy wait list. Right now, I couldn't even tell you. I want to say maybe I'm booked out to 2023. I'm not even sure, but that's because I'm working constantly. There are other mediums in the industry that are booked out way longer, and then you have to find time to balance your personal life with that, because the quality of your personal life is very important, getting the proper rest. My family, my children are everything to me, spending quality time with them, being down at the Jersey Shore. It's like our favorite thing to do every summer. And then, being able to see my parents and spending time with friends. So it's just finding the balance, but I am working more than I am doing the personal stuff now.
Okay. That's good. Balance is good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you did say that you have some other projects coming up, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I do want to know, would you ever be interested? Obviously, we've seen the Long Island Medium and we've seen other mediums have their own shows. Would you ever be interested in sharing your family life and sharing what you do on your own platform? That was solely about you?
Yeah, actually, so you're channeling me a little bit, Adam, and I won't give out too much information, but yes, I've been approached with something very similar to that. And depending on the timing of everything, I'd like to say, would something like that happen? So, but yeah, it's definitely something I've considered.
Okay, that's exciting. I would love to see you have your own show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you have the personality. It's not just you have this great gift, but also the way that you're talking about your family and that dynamic. I think it would be amazing, and your personality is amazing. So I think it would be just so much fun to have you on TV. And as soon as I saw you on the Real Housewives of New Jersey, I was like, I have to get a hold of her. I thought you were incredible. I do want to ask, and if this is okay, I'm sure you've had so many wild encounters, while you're channeling. Would you have one that would stick out to you the most as probably the most bizarre encounter? Or no, they're all just kind of, I don't know.
There have been some bizarre encounters. I want to say one that sticks out to me, though. I was working on a missing persons investigation. I was working with the family. I asked to remain anonymous, to the public and with the police department and stuff. And I just remember getting there on site and saying, she's here. And the place that we were at, the home had burned down and it was complete destruction. And so they're like, it's impossible. And, the police department came out with dogs and they've searched the area. I want to say maybe even twice at that point. And so everyone kept telling me no, but I kept feeling, yes, she's here. She's here. She's either in the house or close to the house. We have to look here. So, you know, several times I went back to help the family and I'm like, look, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm going to reach out to other mediums. And I did, asking them for their opinions, and everybody had different, you know, visions and different things that were kind of conflicting what I was feeling and saying. So I was like, I just want to find this woman. I have, you know, no ego in the game. And so went back maybe a third or fourth time, and it was like, she's here at the house. And then boom, you know, months later, I want to say less than a year later, her family members brought their own dogs in and they found her there at the house underground, whether it was in the basement or right next to the house that she was buried. So that to me was really an incredible learning experience, that first piece of information that comes through, to really stick with it. And even if someone says, no, that doesn't make sense, not to get offended, not to take it personally, and not to shut down. And just keep connecting with the feeling and the vibration that you're receiving and stay with it, because your intuition is very often correct. And so, you know, it was a good learning experience, that when next time I'm involved in any type of investigations, missing persons, anything like that, that whatever I get immediately, I write it down, I speak it, and then I go back and revisit it so I don't forget. And I, you know, go back to that information, and it always winds up making sense. It always winds up connecting somehow.
So moral of the story is trust your intuition.
100%.
Okay. Now, again, I know that your time is so precious, so I do have two more questions for you, if I may. I wanted to know, of course, I saw you for the first time on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Did you watch the show before coming on?
I did.
Okay.
Not religiously, to be quite honest. Reality shows are my guilty pleasure. And when I watch them, it'll be at midnight or 1 a.m. when I can't sleep, and I'll just turn it on, and whatever's kind of playing, you know, I just watch. So it wasn't like I ever watched an entire season start to finish. This was the first season I watched start to finish, because I knew I was going to be on and I had no idea what was going to happen. You know, the stuff that I had channeled had all happened, or was all happening, and they filmed after the fact, if that makes sense. So the stuff that we channeled and the information that came through was later validated, but I don't quite remember if my show aired like within that timing, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, oh, well, we knew that already. But when I filmed, nobody knew that. Do you know what I mean? So you're filming like months in advance,
right.
Maybe even a half a year in advance. So a lot of that information that now is out and coming out on the show wasn't yet out then, or wasn't actually validated, like anything in relation to psychic information or things of that nature. So it was interesting following the show and watching it kind of all happen. It was very entertaining. The cast is beautiful. I have to say, I'm hooked. I really am.
The housewife, I mean, it's my guilty pleasure too. So we have that in common. Did you have one housewife that you met with, you know, obviously at Teresa's home, that kind of, I guess you were surprised by?
That I was surprised by? You know, I'd like to say that I was pleasantly surprised by Jen Aiden.
Okay.
She has this amazing, you know, home, and she has wealth. And I mean, and her home is right what we saw on TV, dripping of like gold and, and, you know, crown chairs and just all of this beautiful stuff. And she lives a very glamorous life, yet she's so humble and so giving. And, you know, she will give the shirt off her back. If you ask her to come and do fundraising or anything like that, she would run. So I feel like, you know, we can't get too caught up in what we see just on film, because there is a human being behind that character,
Right.
you know, and so she was like a pleasant surprise, I'd have to say.
You know, and I think that's so important what you said too, because I always try to remind people, especially when I do my lives and we talk about these shows, the network has a job to put together an ensemble cast where each individual person adds a different element. That's why it is an ensemble cast. And sometimes you need a villain or you need the good person, but that's edited to make them look a certain way, when in real life, they have so many different other dimensions that we don't necessarily get to see. But viewers, you know, as a viewer, we invest ourselves into these shows and these people, and we think that we know them. We think that they're our best friends, but we actually,
Right.
in fact, don't. So I think that's important that you said that. Well
said. That was so on point.
yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
With that, I appreciate your time so much. If there's anyone who's watching this who would love to reach out to you, who would want to get a reading, even though you're booked out, but if they wanted to book in advance, is there a place specifically that we can find you?
Yes, go right on my website, www.ginamariespiritualmedium.com, and you can book right there. You know, the calendar is right there. It's accessible. You have to keep scrolling until you find the first open date. And then once you do, you just kind of click everything in. It's really easy and it's convenient. And that's really the best place to find me. You know, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, Gina Marie Spiritual Medium are my tag names. I'm now on TikTok because my daughter's got me on TikTok. She made me go on TikTok. She's got like thousands and thousands of viewers and millions of hits and all this stuff. She's an influencer now, and she's like amazing with that. So my kids kind of keep me up to date with all of this. Mom, you got to get on this. Mom, stay off of Snapchat, like all this stuff. So, so that's where I'm at really mainly, if anybody wants to find me, besides New Jersey, besides, you know.
Absolutely. And honestly, I'm so excited. I want to go as soon as we get off of here. I want to go and I want to book my date with you, because I'm, again, just so interested in your ability and your gift. And I have so many questions that I would love to ask you personally, obviously another time, but I just wanted to thank you again. This has been amazing.
Adam, thank you so much. You're just amazing. And thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on your show. And it was such a pleasure talking to you. And before we hang up, even though I'm turned off and I'm supposed to be turned off, this vision keeps coming to me. And it's like something happened to somebody in the chest. I don't know if they were stabbed or they were cut and there was blood or something connected to it, not to sound gory, but is somebody connected to you, past or present, that had trauma in the chest area?
You know, my grandfather, who I just found this past year, we got connected through the Ellen DeGeneres show. I went to the show and she passed out for the gift of that day. It was the Ancestry DNA kits. So I just found him, and he's a Bravo lover. So every Friday I do a pops off on Pop Culture where we give 100% back to the vets. And he got into Bravo because he was having surgery on his chest. And he was stuck in the hospital, and that's all they were playing. So maybe that could be it. Or also today is the anniversary of my fiance's dad's passing, and he had cancer. So maybe that could be it too.
Okay. So your grandfather actually had chest surgery, like where? Yep. That's what I'm seeing. There was blood, there was, you know, a knife going in. There was trauma to the chest area, was the flash that I was seeing. And I guess that's like a good example of me getting past, present, and future information. And that's where I guess the psychic part of me comes in too. It's, you know, his energy is very strong around you, even though he's still alive. And that happens. Like, we're connected to people's energies that are still walking the face of the earth, as well as that are in heaven. So I'm just sensing his spirit around you. And I think it's amazing that you found him.
Yeah.
And what the Ellen DeGeneres show did she's just incredible.
I love her.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's nothing that's going to happen to my chest.
No, it's not. It's not. It's very specific to, I saw it already had happened, something that had happened already. Okay. So, yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, this is what I have to have. I'm booking this reading. I think that This is incredible. You give me goosebumps. I love talking to you. I could sit here and talk to you all day. I want to be a part of the family. Right?
Oh my gosh, come over. I'll make you meatballs. Bring your fiance. Come on over. I can cook you guys whatever you want.
Hey, don't tempt us with a good time.
I would love it. I'm telling you.
Well, again, I just want to say thank you so much. This has been the best and probably one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done. And, sometimes you get on here and you get to talk to people about their life stories, and you can tell when they don't want to be on, or you can tell when they feel like they really don't have time. And I know that you're inundated all the way around with people requesting time from you. So the fact that you even took time for this today, I can't express how much that means. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. Well, we'll see you hopefully soon. I'm going to do the cooking.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.